Today I'm going to review a book called The Art of Stone Painting, 30 Designs to Spark Your Creativity by F. Shanaz Bach. And I found her book, I was attracted to it because of the beautiful painted stones I saw on the cover. And I will just tell you right now what I'm doing is I'm picking out my own stones, and I was in the creek because or a river or somewhere near water where the stones are smoother because they've been washed smooth by the water. Then we also had a pile of rocks on the ranch, so I was just going through the pile of rocks, and now here I am washing them. The author suggests washing your rocks just to get all the dust off before you paint them. So I'm doing that, and she also suggests letting them dry for 24 hours, but I was in the mountain west and quite arid, so I only let them dry for a few hours, plus because of my time constraints. So I hope it was enough time. And anyway, right now I'm sorting the rocks into different shapes for the different things I'm going to paint. So like for a flower, you might want a more circular shaped rock, and then I'm going to have some long oblong ones that are good for some of the leaves, or she has some ideas like painting fish or owls. I don't know, she's got, like I said, 30 different projects in her book. And just a little bit about the author. Her name is F. Shanaz Bach, and she is actually, apparently it says in the book review on Barnes & Noble that she's a seasoned archaeologist and markets her painted stones on Etsy. Her shop, I'll put a link below. Anyway, she gets all her rocks out of the Adriatic Sea. So she uses a lot more materials than I am. I just quickly, I'm in a small town near our ranch when I'm filming this, and just went into the hardware store actually and bought 5 or 6 colors of craft paint, and the author suggests using acrylic paint. She also used some acrylic markers or pens, and had a couple other suggestions. I think maybe a metallic paint would be nice also. You start your design with pencil on the stone, and she also suggests, which I think is a good idea, if you're not sure about your design, you could try it on paper first before you try it on your rocks. And I just got a cheap, this is probably a 50-cent paintbrush. If you have nicer, and she suggests using a little nicer quality brushes, especially for detail work like this. I couldn't get some of the finer details I wanted, so I finished it with marker to get the finer detail. Just getting into the nooks and crannies and corners of the little tiny paintings. But I was still quite pleased with the amount of materials I was able to get, which was less than $10 worth. I was able to get a satisfactory result. Now I'm just making my own. I'm not really copying anything from the book, but she does just state in the book that all her designs are just stylized pictures. They're not real birds, and maybe they're more like folk art to me is what they look like. And I'm doing a very simple version. Now she does a lot more intricate designs, and in her book she starts with some simple designs and patterns you could try, and then has examples of more intricate and maybe advanced designs which have a lot more detail work in them. She also, what else did she have? She had some mandalas, and I don't have the book with me. I actually am back in Chicago and left the book on the ranch, so I forget exactly, but some fish and sea creatures, those were nice. And one other thing, so I'm just using pens for the detail work to get the nice sharp beak and the eye and the legs, and just to outline so that it shows up better. And then she suggests, what was I going to say? I was going to say two things. I was going to show you, but it might be too late. Just the smoother the rock, it really is better, because it's really hard to draw if it's got a really rough surface. And another thing she suggests is when you prepare your rocks, to make sure that you wash and dry them, and then also if they have rough spots, you could sand them down. You could also, she suggests using a toothbrush to get, if you have any dirt in a crevice or something like that. And I thought those were good ideas. And then also, when you're done, you can spray it with a coat of varnish, either matte or gloss varnish. And she suggests, if it's going to be a rock that you display outside, to maybe put 2 or 3 coats of a UV protectant varnish on it. And those are something that you can usually find at a craft store, maybe a hardware store, or an art store. So here I'm just detailing, and this is pretty much where I stop on these designs. One thing that I'm going to do with these, for a family reunion, we're going to have some of these rocks, a family reunion that's going to be on the ranch. So all the rocks are from the ranch, and we're going to have an activity where the kids paint rocks, and then anyone who wants the rocks can take one home as a souvenir from the reunion. And I just had a blue Sharpie and a black Sharpie, so I'm just using those for the outlines and detail work.